Hey, so today we are going to talk about back pain. Now, remember this. This back pain has nothing to do with injuries. I will repeat, nothing to do with injuries. This is caused through time, and this is caused by EMF. And yes, I have discovered this about 5 years ago, what I was dealing with. And that is what I was dealing with. Before I go into the video, I'm going to show you that I have solved it. And it is very, very simple. All you see is right here, and that's it right there. And look what I am wearing. Can you imagine that these things will solve your back pain? Mysterious back pain, or what they are known as EMF sensitivity. As I stated in my other videos, there is no such thing as EMF sensitivities because the medical communities does not know this at all. So they coined this name called EMF sensitivities. Remember me and remember this video. There is no such thing because I have found it and I will solve it for you. And from now on, people will know what that little thing does. Before I go into the video, I'm going to tell you a short story. I was only about 9 years old when I started to notice something that is wrong, that is in the air. At 9 years old, you're not going to understand any of these things, so I suffered. There are times that I actually would leave the house. I would leave the house to actually, so I can breathe and I can actually have less pain. Few years later, well, actually before that, there was something I'll show you on the screen right now. It's actually the Comcast modem. Yes, the Comcast modem that actually started. It started all this. And I did not know. I didn't know anything about it whatsoever. And when I traced it back, here's the date of that. Here's what they rolled out was that year. Within a year or so, I started to have back pain. Yup. And I didn't know what it was. About few years later, oh my God, I was not able to pick up anything that is over 25 pounds. I was actually lifting weight back then. And I was able to lift like, I don't know, I believe like, I was a kid, like 150 something pounds. And lifting weight, you're all excited, blah, blah. Next things you know, I was not able to lift up, like helping my grandmother around the house and picking up these things, like even a cinder block. A cinder block doesn't weigh that much. I was not able to pick that up. Oh my God. I said, how in the world, by the time I am 30 or 40 years old, how am I going to live? Yup. It was a sad part of my life. And that's when I started to learn how to understand. All this stuff. And that's when I found that. I actually developed something else too, but that's later on. Later on, I will show you, and it will tie to this video too. Most of my videos are always tied. And for the DIY, for the DIY of this bracelet right here, I call it the Wonder Bracelet, the Jordan Bronson Wonder Bracelet. And yes, it will help you with your back. It's right up here, okay? Make yourself a few, like 4, and start it with that. Look what I have right now on. Anytime I have pains or if I lift up something, like today, I lift a bunch of little baggies, because we in the winter, and these 40-pound bags of pellet stove, you know, the pellets to burn in our fireplace. So I had to put some on just to get rid of it. But remember, this video is not about injuries. It had nothing to do with injury. This is about EMF. Electromagnetic field is what causing people to have bad back. And yes, I have other versions. This is actually my neck version right here. Yep. So I actually make different versions. I do different type. This is actually different right here. That's actually in testing mode. There's something to this. This is in testing mode. These were for kids. Okay, I'm making one for my neighbor next door. She's actually paying me for it. Because he is really ultra sensitive. He can actually, oh, let me tell you about him for a little bit. He can actually feel a motor. Yes, he can feel a motor, like a big motor. And when it's close to him, he can actually feel it. And then when he told me that story, his brother's like, oh, he just crazy. I'm like, I'm going to open your world today. Do not ever call him crazy, because I was one of those people. I too can feel motors, and I can feel microwave like 20 feet away. Yes, I can feel a microwave 20 feet away, and I've said that plenty of time in my other videos. But this little kid, he's only 8 years old, and he said he can feel those big motors, like the motors that for pumping air, like, you know, those air thing. I'm sorry, I can't think of off the top of my head right now. Oh, by the way, I'm sick. I think I caught COVID this week. I haven't got my test back yet. But I think I'm sorry, my voice is a little raspy right now, because I think I caught it, and it's been 3 days now. I didn't have no fever. It was really weird, and oh boy, that's another video. But anyway, sorry to run a little bit here, but he said that he can feel it, so his mom pay me to make these things for him to help him. Now, I'm going to pause the video so I can go and show you something that I've learned about how those EMF, or electromagnetic field, or radiation hurting us, how it causes for us to have back pains. Okay, so I hope you can see this easily. Now I'm gonna draw how I understand this, and I would say about 60 to 70% of understanding of it. This is not 100% accurate, so please remember that. Okay? Now, I'm leaving this here so the camera will pick up something, so it will be a little brighter. Sorry, my camera is kind of like stinks. It doesn't know how to pick up certain things. But anyway, that's beside the point. Now, when you, let's say this is you, okay? I'm going to try to be as simple as I can. This is you, okay? And you are in your normal environment. You have Bluetooth, right? You have your cell phones. You have antennas everywhere. You have wireless modems. You have other things like security systems, alarms, or whatever. Okay? Everything wireless. Okay? They all put out a bunch of these little particles. They are all over the place, and they linger all over the place unless you shut them down. If you shut them down, then you would able to stop these. Yes, when you shut this down, it actually takes about, I don't know, maybe 40 seconds. Yes, I know that much. It takes about 40 seconds for this to go away. Now, oh, another thing too, a microwave oven. Okay? And like I stated, and I've stated many times, I can actually feel this about 20 feet away. Bluetooth, I can feel about 15. Other wireless stuff depends. A modem, I can feel that very far. Almost as far as a microwave. Cell phones, I cannot feel them unless they pump out the energy. When they pump out the energy, I said that many times, it hit my ears. And it makes my ear itches. Cell phones, I can feel them about 6 feet. When it comes to like iPhones and stuff, they're very strong. iPhone is very strong. Androids and stuff, they're a little bit better. So if you are EMF sensitivities, you cannot stay with iPhones. Yep, crazy as it sounds. I can feel them all, and I can actually feel them when they have text. Like when people have text, I can actually tell too. Yep. Sometimes I go into this is funny. Sometimes I go into a supermarket and I get tingly ears. I say, "Oh, someone got a text. Oh, someone got this, someone got that." And I'm telling you, if I say something like that and someone actually get a text or a message, they probably like, how the hell does he know, right? But anyway, I mess with people all the time. When I am able to feel that little signal, I actually, oh, someone got a text. Someone got a message. Check your phone. Because I can actually feel them. And probably some of these people's like, how the hell does he know? Right? I probably scare them more like it. But anyway. So, as my understanding of all these little particles, they're all over the place. They're not only absorbing. Please remember, I am the first person in the world to explain this. They are not only absorbing to your body. You are actually breathing it. You are breathing it in. You breathe that in. Furthermore, when that goes in there, this is where the 40% that I have not understood or understand yet. Okay? Somehow, it binds into our oxygen. Yup. Pretend this is an oxygen. I'll put it all in the center. It binds into that. Then you will hear this first, and I will be the first one in the world that explain this. Okay? I'm going to zoom in a little further. Then, pretend this is your joint. Sorry, I can't draw this part. This part right here, that is your back. Okay? Pretend that's where it is. And I'll tell you one more time. I am the first person in the world that actually explained something like this. This actually filled these little thing right here. It fills it up somehow. I do not understand this yet. I say yet. But I understand this far. It filled this up somehow. Okay? And then people have to crack. Yes. In order to feel better, you need to release this. And when you release this, you hear a big crack. So a lot of people, here it is, another one. If a person who have bad back, they have to crack a lot. And here's something really interesting. and you will hear it from me first again. The last 10 years, number one, have you noticed, okay, there's a lot of offices that open for backs, chiropractors. They're popping all over the place the last 10 years. If you trace that, there's something tied to that in about 2010. So it's almost 10 years now. About 9 years or so. You see a lot of them popping all over the place. That is the number one thing. Chiropractors. Why? There's something tied to that. Yes. And I will be the first human in history. That's when they roll out a lot of places a modem. And what is the modem pumping out? And I'm telling you, I will be the first person in human history to tie that. They're all over the place now. Chiropractic is very popular right now. Why? Because of this right here. Crazy as it sounds in this video, and I tell you many things about my videos that is very crazy. But I solved it with these bracelets. Yup. The Wonder Bracelet. And all it is that all these things absorbing into your body. You want the bracelet to go inside of your body to get those things out. When you wear them, you no longer have this. Because somehow, this is the part I still do not understand. Somehow, it stops these particles from absorbing into your oxygen. So you no longer have to crack your back like a lot of people do. And if you are one of those person and you see how I describe this, and yes, I will be the first person in human history to change the way how we look at this. Sorry, I can't draw the back. But that's what it is. I will be the first human in history to change this. To change the way we view how this little oxygen somehow fill this all up. And it create a really painful thing. It's like it's stretching it out and you can't stretch things out. It's like it fills it in. But when you crack, it feels better. But when you cracked, two of those bones rubbing against each other. By wearing this bracelet, somehow there's a protection. Yes. Again, I'll be the first person in human history to explain this. Somehow there's a protection. Somehow, by removing these little particles, you, instead of having these bubbles, you have these protection in your back. Your back will no longer hurt. Crazy as it sounds in this video, and I promise you, make that bracelet right up here. And if you are EMF sensitivity, that's what they call it, your life will change. And that's a promise. Because I am the first person that actually understands this. Although, like I said, 60% in so far, I still have not understand why yet. Why it actually does this. Okay? Why does it? These signals somehow command these little bubbles to go into here. I have not understood that little thing yet. Maybe someday I will. But I understand how to fix it. Okay? So all you have to do is to change your life, to change your back pains, to change your posture, these little particles that somehow stretching. It's stretch. Okay? It stretch your bone out. And then when you cracked, when you twist your back, that's when you hear that crack. Okay? So, by having this, is very simple. It takes all these particles away. It prevents this little circle from filling this up. That's how I understand so far. And yes, now I can lift up weight again. I can lift up bags again. And this discovery I have made almost 5 years ago, but I'm still in the work of it. But because this is out, this video's out because it linked to this. And I said many times in my videos, this will link to a lot of sickness. Can you imagine just these little particles right here have linked a lot of sickness? And I have made a few videos already. There's actually more. But I'm making them separately so people can find this. And if you find this video and you are one of those people, please go help the people who are suffering from this. Share this video. Tell the people who are suffering from bad backs. Anyone that you know from bad backs or back pains without any injuries. Okay? Please remember that. Please send them to this video right here and help them to understand that what they are going through. They can pay the chiropractor all year round, all of their life, and they will never heal unless they understand what I just presented right here. Okay? So if you know anyone, if you know anybody, please help them. All they're going to do is thank you, right? They'll probably be really grateful to you. And if the people who actually are like me, they probably get on their knees to thank me for this. Although I don't need them to get on their knees to thank me for this. All they can just say is thank you. That's good enough for me. But please remember, help those people because they will pay an arm and a leg. And they will never be able to solve this. And yes, it is all caused by Bluetooth, cell phones, cell towers, wireless modems. All the wireless stuff that's in your house and even your microwave. All that because of this right here. Yep. So, concludes to this video. If you see this video and you have bad backs, go make them. They're very simple. You can do it all by yourself. You don't need anyone to do that. And yes, look, I even made a bigger version. This is for my neck. Why did I put these little things on? Because I didn't want it to touch my skin. Remember, you cannot touch your skin except for this part. And this is actually connect to our spinal cord. Yup. I made it in the way so it connect to our spinal cord. Okay? Once you make this, try this out first. Okay? Make these little ones first. Once you're comfortable with making them, make them big. I believe this is 50 windings. And you can use them like a big, huge markers. This is the big markers. Same principle. I just put these here. These are plastic, so it won't touch my skin. I want this part here to touch my skin, so it can absorb where the spinal cords are. Okay? So it's very easy. You can make the little ones and try it out first. Once you start to feel better, then you know what's hurting you all this time. And like I stated, I'll state it one more time before I go. I am the first human in history to understand this. And I still got a long way to go. about 60% why it does this. I don't know yet. But I know for a fact that's what it's doing. And I still got about 40% more to go. But because of this, I no longer have back pains or backache because I didn't have any injuries. Furthermore, I no longer crack because there's no more bubbles in there for me to crack. I no longer feel back pain because of it. All because of this little thing right here. I cannot understand this one yet. I don't know if I ever will. I hope someday I will. Maybe I will. But so far, I know that's what it's doing to us. And that's when I knew that if I remove it, if I remove that out of my body, that's when I knew that this will go away. And yes, that's when my back pain is gone. I no longer have back pains. There were times, before I go, there were times I actually sit up and I cry because I ask myself, by the time I am 30, 40, 50 years old, how am I going to live with this back pain? There's no way. There was no way. But I am so glad, like I tell in some of my videos, I am so glad that somebody upstairs to gave me a good brain on my shoulders. And because of that, I am able to get rid of my back pain just because of this and something else. It's all related. Remember, all of my videos related. I mentioned I invented something else. I invented, that will be later on in the videos. I invented something that would remove every single particles of ions that is hurting us in the air. So later on, when I am ready to release those videos out, those videos come out. But in the meantime, this video is about back pain, non-injuries, back pain, backaches, even just, I don't know, even just a little twist of something and you feel pain. Just some type of pain in your back. And this is what causing it. And this is what my understanding so far. Okay? So go make that bracelet. It's right up here. Get your parts. Get it. And I promise you, in many of my videos, I promised, your life will change. And yes, they will have to change medical histories and medical books. How? They are so wrong about the understanding of all this. They blame everything. They blame everything about this mysterious back pain. But they don't know what it is. And all it is what they call sensitivities. Sensitivities to EMF, or in my video, I said you have those little batteries. You just have to find out which one. Okay? And once you do, once you understand it, you will no longer have back pains. Okay? Other than that, that's about it on this video. I will see you in the next video.